What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. It is Friday, November 21st, 2025. This is episode 1011 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. Listen, if you're looking to stay informed on the top cyber news stories of the day, while also getting insights and additional knowledge around those stories that will be important for you to be able to crush your job today, help you level up tomorrow, and be able to absolutely bust those job interviews in our industry, then you've come to the right place. Because alongside my friends, hashtag Team SC right above my head, we are doing this every single morning at 8 a.m. And today, Friday, November 21st, is no different. We're off and running on a beautiful day going into a Thanksgiving week next week. Let's cook. All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Good to see you. As always, so many friendly, familiar faces. Marcus, Steve Young, Poner Joe, Robert Hendrickson, my man Nerman, Find the True 2. Got to spend time with him at SCCon. Couple beers. Dream Logic's in the house, guys. It is Friday, which is awesome going into the weekend. I hope you had a great week. I hope you crushed your goals, both transactionally and working towards those strategic goals. I'm going to try to speak today about 3 inches away from the microphone. Someone in chat, I was asking yesterday about feedback on the show. Shout out to Team Live. I went back and watched that. Team Replay dropping comments. Someone said my voice gets distorted on the mic. I said it's an audio thing. That's kind of like, I can't really fix audio, but for the DJ B-Sex and the Casually Josephs in the world, I'm going to try to speak a good 3 inches from the mic instead of putting my face right on it. All right, guys. Hey, listen, this show is amazing. We're going to go through the next hour going through 8 cybersecurity stories. I literally got into the studio just a few minutes ago, coming in real hot, so I literally have no idea what the stories are going to be, not even the topics. That's why you're not going to see the headline.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Running around, I got kids. I had to shower, obviously. Shout out really quickly to Joe Hudson. Got my Joe Hudson shirt on today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Joe Hudson, an absolute treasure to the community. Guys, every single episode is worth half a CPE. So if you have cybersecurity certifications that require maintenance, say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot. That's why the chat is above my head right here. Josh Mason, good morning to you. Just turn the gain down. Yeah, I'm not, sure. I could try that here. I don't know. Is that better? I don't know. I know you're supposed to turn the gain down. I don't have an item that says gain. Right, so I don't even know what we're doing here. But listen, grab a screenshot, include right there, BW5542 knows what's up. The show itself has the episode number and the date in it. This is how we do it individually. Just take a screenshot once a year, count the screenshots, divide by 2. Okay, don't turn it down. All right, I'm not going to touch any dials. I need Casually Joseph to make a house call. All right, once he wakes up, because, get a job at Palo Alto and all of a sudden the guy sleeps a lot. I'm joking. He works his butt off. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I've been told not to mess with the audio. I think I put it back to where it's supposed to be. Let me know, DJ VSEC, guys. We got the CPEs. Listen, if today's your first episode. Okay. Thank you, Marcus Kyler, yelling at me. Let's just go ahead and not touch anything. And I'll just be the talent and we'll have an audio engineer hook me up. All right, guys, listen. If today's your first episode, you are getting a pretty accurate tasting of what this show is all about. It's good times, good people, and cybersecurity. I can't think of any 3 things that I would like to mix into a, cauldron and brew up than those 3 things. So if you're here for the first time, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Let us know. Hashtag first timer in chat. We got a special sound effect.
Welcome to the party.
We got a special emote. And, the squad itself right above me here will welcome you in the community. And you're here right now, which is the first step, okay? Second of all, CPEs, first timers, and every single day of the week has a special segment. And Fridays is a delight. It's actually James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. This guy right here, longtime member of the community, definitely contributing and helping everybody out. He does dad jokes every single Friday, custom jokes, just like Dan Reardon does the custom memes. We do the custom jokes. He has sent them to me, and super, super excited to share those with you as always. Now, before we get into it, allow me to pay the bills. You know, audio engineers aren't free, guys. Audio engineers are not free, right? So we got to pay the bills. So let me do a quick shout out to Delete Me, guys. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from the data broker websites. Delete Me knows your privacy is worth protecting. Sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what information you want deleted, and their experts take it from there. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. I have kids, I have a wife, and I don't want to have to be like, hide your kids, hide your wife, right? I want where I live to be private unless I choose. Just like all of you, like your information, just because, like, it's your information, right? You should get to choose how it's allocated, not have somebody sell it. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber. DJ BSEC, let me know in chat. So we've got a good sample now of me speaking like 1/5 full away from the microphone. Is that good? Is that better? Oh, we got a first timer. Who's the first timer? What? Oh, crap. We got a couple first timers. Dr. Garfield Sec and Ginong Gibbons. So we'll just say Gibbons. Dr. Garfield Sec and Gibbons. Welcome. Hold on. Let's get this Delete Me ad out of the way. Dr. Garfield and Gibbons, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for checking us out. I hope you have a great experience here. Say hello. Oh, hey, Mad Destroyer. Coffee cup cheers to you, brother. Coffee cup cheers to Mad Destroyer. I am fully in the Magic the Gathering hole, Dan. I'm like spending most of my time on Scryfall. Guys, I also want to say shout out and holla to Anti-Siphon Training. Guys, anti-siphontraining.com. Just go to their live training course calendar. This is what I like to do. Scroll down. Look at this calendar of events, dude. Today at 11:30 a.m. Today, you can learn AI foundations, like how your workflows can be optimized using AI. Guys, are you using AI for more than just, hey, can you make this email sound cool? Or can you give me 5 ideas for a blog post? You want to take it to the next level and actually integrate it into your workflows, make you a superhuman, essentially, like SOC analyst level 1.5 coming out the gates. Joff Thoyer and Derek Banks. I know both of these guys, but I know Joff's work better than Derek's. They're not taking anything away from Derek, but Joff is definitely all up into AI's face. This workshop is a mad opportunity. So giddy up on it. It looks like maybe registration's closed. So too late would be the cry. So check it out. If it is closed for registration, then look forward to December. Oh, actually, this is even better. Guys, next week or the week after Thanksgiving, everybody's taking next week off, basically. But the week after, this is a 4-day, 16-hour course with John Strand himself leading it. If you want to either, one, learn fundamentals with hands-on practical examples of cybersecurity, or two, you've been working in cybersecurity and you just want to refresh yourself on fundamentals, there's no shame in that, right? Go check it out. Anti-siphontraining.com. Links in the description below. And then, of course, we got the Threat Locker. Let me just drop the Threat Locker one, and then we're going to be off and running on a beautiful Friday morning. Holla! I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, what's up, everybody? We could talk about that. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, check it out. We got a lot of stuff going on in mod chat right now around something that we're all familiar with, but we could talk about that. Guys, I just want to remind you, Dr. Garfield and Gibbons, stay tuned because at the top of the hour, 9 a.m. Eastern time, we do another segment called Jawjacking. You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to go. It's separate from the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. But what we do is we do a panel of cybersecurity professionals and experts who are just answering any and all questions. But first, we got to get to work. So do me a favor. Marcus Kyler knows what to do. Dream Logic knows what to do. Medine G knows what to do. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us all in an awesome wave. Guys, I look forward to doing the news, and I'll see you at the mid-roll. All right, before we get into it, James McQuiggan, the same James McQuiggan that you can see here on screen right now, just dropping 20 gifted subs casually.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thank you, James McQuiggan. Great guy. Guys, if you get a chance to meet James McQuiggan, not at SCCon 2026, because he's going to be in Copenhagen, but Black Hat DEF CON meetup, definitely there.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, November 21st, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Sturnus Android Trojan captures encrypted chats and hijacks devices. Cybersecurity researchers at the Dutch mobile security company Threat Fabric are warning of this new Trojan that enables credential theft and full device takeover to conduct financial fraud. They report that it is capable of bypassing encrypted messaging by capturing content directly from the device screen after decryption. This allows it to monitor communications on WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal. Sturnus is also able to stage overlay attacks using fake login screens over top of banking apps to capture victims' credentials, with its current targets being financial institutions across Southern and Central Europe. Canadian regulator.
Okay, so, we are looking at an Android banking malware app that does the fake overlay, transparent screen, and, can steal all the things. This is not new. This is not innovative. However, you should be well aware of this. Android malware has been doing this for quite some time, right? Like, put in the 6-digit PIN, put in your code, put in whatever, it can steal that. You type it on your screen, right? This isn't BlackBerry. You don't have a physical keyboard. Everything you touch is on the screen. So what's so special about this one? It quietly captures encrypted chats as well. Okay. It bypasses encrypted messaging by capturing content directly from the device screen after decryption. Okay, so this is kind of cool. It's a banking malware, but this could definitely be weaponized for spyware, right? So, this is basic 101, but I guess it's worth mentioning. And by the way, for those who are in chat, I love educating. I love cybersecurity, like almost to a fault. And I want to make sure everybody understands all the things and everybody at every level can level up. Here's the deal. Data, okay, let's start on basic day one stuff, right? Data, it can show up on your screen, right? So I text, who am I going to text? Space Tacos. I text Space Tacos. Did you see that they're bringing back Thundercats? Okay, right? But I don't want anyone to know that I'm into Thundercats, okay? So it's just for me and Space Tacos, and I send it via Signal. from the Signal app on my phone, it gets encrypted. So now no one can read it. And it goes down, out the wire, across the internet, up the wire, and into Space Taco's phone. And then Signal decrypts it. So right up until the moment it splashes on Space Taco's screen, no one can intercept it. No adversarial in the middle attack, no physically stealing the device, ripping it open and pulling the RAM and being able to do that. It's encrypted. But at some point, it's got to be decrypted for the intended recipient to be able to consume that information. Because of that, because that's the only spot where it really can be attacked. And of course, yes, you can hack the encryption and all that other stuff, but let's be practical here. And of course, you could do like spoofing and whatever. But if you can grab screenshots and you can keylog what the inputs are, this is the clear text elements before. So it's possible some malware could just get one side of the conversation. So just the victim who's typing get that part of the conversation. It's possible it could get the victim and the screenshots and send those. So yeah, I mean, guys, it's funny, like, oh, Voltron and or Thundercats, but what if it's like Pete Hegseth texting somebody about doing a military strike on a target? Or what if it is a CEO, like what if it's Tim Cook at Apple talking about their strategy for getting Apple produced in China or something, like high level big money type things, right? There is a reason that literally the US government recommends, and this kind of went under the radar, but I mean, I kind of dunked on this when it happened back in, here we go. This was earlier this year. Well, you can't even really see it, but federal law enforcement recommends encrypted and ephemeral messaging. So like literally the US federal government was advising state, local, federal, and private sector to use really secure messaging in order to protect the confidentiality of that data. This is a response to that. And again, guys, here's my thing. Like, I love a lot of stuff, okay? Love Joe Hudson, obviously, wearing the shirt. But I love the academic element of our industry of threat actors being cats and us being mice, right? Or Troy and the Greeks or whatever. Like, we come up with something and threat actors innovate. We come up with secure messaging. They come up with screen captures and thumb keyloggers, right? It's cool. It keeps us on our toes, dude. I would be so bored if everything was just stagnant. Like, oh, we solved cybercrime. What's next, right? So, anyways, be aware. Educate your end users. Essentially, don't download Android apps from weird places. And, if you're doing BYOD environments and allowing your end users in your environment to have Android, then, get a good MDM solution in place, have the data on the devices compartmentalized. So, honestly, even if the data is compartmentalized, the user is authenticated and authorized to access the sensitive emails, the sensitive files. And if you're able to take screenshots of it, I mean, it's game over. So, oh yeah, Marcus Kyler, my man. I forgot about Gem. Gem was good. Gem was targeted for females, but you know what? They did a great job. I mean, it was part of my Saturday morning lineup.
Say schools share blame for Powerschool hack.
What was Gem's band's name? Like her band was like her posse, right? It was Gem and the Moon Rocks or Gem and the Rhinestones or something. I can't remember her band's name.
The Information and Privacy Commissioners for the provinces of Ontario and Alberta released their investigative findings on the massive Powerschool data leak and faulted the school systems for missteps such as, quote, not putting privacy and security-related provisions in their contracts with the education software firm and failing to effectively monitor and oversee Powerschool's security guardrails, particularly in regard to multi-factor authentication, end quote. Schools also did not have appropriate breach response plans ready to go, the report said. The breach, which affected schools and students across the US and Canada, was the result of the actions of a Massachusetts college student who pleaded guilty and received a 4-year sentence in October.
All right. So a bunch of things here. I can't speak to so the story itself that we're looking at on stream is about just the sentencing of the Massachusetts kid for 4 years for hacking Powerschool. Gem and the holograms, thank you. Here's the reality, guys. Powerschool is in 85% of US school systems. It's basically the back-end shared infrastructure for reporting, grades, administration. It's a very good tool. I haven't used it. Let me rephrase this. If 85% of schools are using it, I imagine it serves the purpose, and good for Powerschool. Like, dude, getting paper report cards when I was a kid was lame, right? You'd be like, oh, you got to get them signed, everything. Now, dude, as a parent, I can log in right now and check my kids' grades. I don't have to wait for the end of the quarter. I don't have to wait for Christmas. I can intervene immediately and take that iPhone away. So, the fact that there's two things about this story. One is about this kid getting arrested.
Regulators, mount up.
And he pled guilty, which probably reduced his sentence. He'll be out by the age of 23. He demanded a ransom of $2.9 million. Guys, I got to tell you, I know they probably gave him a lighter sentence because he pled guilty and he's 19. But dude, 2.9 million. So if he got away with it, like, to me, whatever. I'm not Judge Dredd up here. I don't get to be judge, jury, and executioner. But it seems light for what he did. Also, they said that he's had a long history of hacking. As Nick Ascoli said yesterday, if you caught the Simply Cyber firesides, like, the days of getting out of jail and like federal law enforcement being like, hey, can you come work for us because you're a hacker? Those days are long gone. People in federal law enforcement, they know how to hack. They know how it works. They don't need like that pipe dream of, getting this sick job because you committed crime is gone. So this dude's, I will tell you, this dude, it's interesting because he's going to be a felon, right? Well, can someone confirm whether or not he was charged with a felony? Because a felony is way different than a misdemeanor. I feel like extorting a corporation for $2.9 million, that feels felonious to me. Especially since it costs $14 million in expenses. So whatever, this guy's going to jail. We'll follow up on him. Secondly, Massachusetts, that's my old stomping grounds. So whatever, I don't even know what to say for this guy. Hey, like, I don't know, like Sully, he probably got caught. He was probably, well, he's 19, so he's definitely not drinking at the local town spa. But like, he probably went down to the Cape Cod Cafe up in Brockton, out in Campello, got a couple bar pizzas, friggin' loose lips, got his donkeys. He's talking about how he's going to get himself a sweet F-250, head up to the job site. All right. So the other thing that they said that's not on the story right here, and this is something I'd like to give to you guys, is that it said Ontario and some other school system is holding the schools accountable for not ensuring that Powerschool, the software provider, was implementing the security controls properly, and that the school systems did not have proper privacy and security requirements inside the contracts, and that the schools didn't have good incident response planning. Bro, first of all, I can't think of a more out of touch, tone deaf, misinformed, poor adjudication for whoever the federal politicians, the judges, the people wearing wigs up in Canada. Are you kidding me, dude? First of all, public school systems are grossly underfunded. Go look at any K through 12 school teacher's salary. It makes you want to puke. Second of all, you think that they're going to have mad IT people? No, it's like 3 people serving an entire county of multiple schools. Third, this is Powerschool. They're literally in 85% of schools in the United States. They don't need to conform to Charleston County School District. Dude, are you serious? Oh, they didn't have privacy and security in the contract. Buddy, if a school system goes to Powerschool and they're like, we'd like to use your product, and Powerschool's like, fine. Like 10,000 other school systems are using it. Sure, sign up. They're like, whoa, we're going to have to redline this contract and add additional security and privacy requirements. You know what Powerschool is going to say? See you later, dude. Can you imagine for a minute? Like, let's make this more applicable to everybody. Imagine, if you will, that it's time for you to start working at a company, and you guys use M365, and it's a monthly renewal, and you go look at the contract, and it doesn't say anything about privacy, right? You're gonna call Microsoft and be like, Microsoft, I know we're giving you $1,800 a month for our services. We really feel like we need you to update the contract. They're gonna tell you that they're probably not even gonna respond to you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to put this on the school systems is idiotic. And then the school systems didn't have incident response. Bruh, I got an idea for you, whoever's like the lead official person in Ontario making this claim. How about you fund their incident response program? There's a concept. It just pisses me off when people who don't know what they're talking about throw stones at perceived problems and then like puff their chest out and walk around like they've made some type of contribution. It's like anyone who's in chat right now knows how tone deaf this is. It's ridiculous. All right. Also, DJ BSEC dropped this in chat. He says this guy, Matt Lane, pled guilty to multiple federal felony counts. Conspiracy to threaten to impair the confidentiality, threatening to, basically. So here's my thing about this guy really quickly. Yeah, he's only got 4 years of prison. He's 23 and he's a felon. It doesn't come up often, but dude, I've been doing this game for like this helping people for 6 years, okay? It doesn't happen often, but every once in a while, someone comes into the chat and is like, I have a felony. How do I get into cybersecurity? It is an incredibly difficult accomplishment to be a felon and get into cybersecurity. Just so you know. So this dude's got a sick uphill battle. He's going to be swimming upstream.
Bill reintroduced to bolster cybersecurity at Securities and Exchange Commission. Put forward as a bipartisan initiative, Georgia Representatives David Scott, a Democrat, and Barry Loudermilk, a Republican, introduced the legislation on Wednesday under the name the SEC Data Protection Act of 2025. Specifically, the bill would establish uniform policies and procedures governing how the SEC requests, handles, stores, and protects sensitive information obtained from investors, advisors, broker-dealers, and other market participants, end quote. It is also intended to, quote, develop and update data protection cybersecurity protocols consistent with federal and NIST standards and best practices, end quote. Both representatives are senior members of the House Financial Services Committee.
Oh my God, my knees are weak. I'm swooning here. They're talking about implementing NIST controls. Say less. Okay, so the SEC, which is responsible for protecting shareholders, people who own publicly traded companies. This is one of those ones, guys. I kind of talked about this yesterday on stream when it came to, oh my God, what was it? There was some Biden administration regulation that required security controls, and they were getting rolled back because those businesses said they were too burdensome. This is kind of going the other way, right? So this is saying that the SEC is going to put more cybersecurity requirements, I assume, onto publicly traded companies. This is a bipartisan piece of legislation, which means it's, especially in this hotly contested political ecosystem, getting bipartisanship is great. It's rare, but this is to help these businesses respond to cyber threats, which can mean anything, protection and detection. All right. Uniform policies and procedures governing how the SEC requests, handles, and stores sensitive information. Oh, this is about the actual federal agency, not about the shareholders they're trying to protect. You know what's stupid, man? The bill won't impede regulators from seeking the information they need, but it does ensure that the SEC meets modern cybersecurity. The Congressional Budget Office got hacked. A bunch of cyber attacks on financial institutions. Sure. Buddies. Okay, I'm just going to tell you this really quickly. All right, I worked in federal InfoSec for a number of years. If I was like super rich right now, if I was super rich, I would put my hands under my desk right now and I would flip it. This is infuriating. Okay, hello. Allow me to take you down. This is a nothing burger for you, okay? So there's nothing here that is going to help you at work today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Nothing. I will give you something though, okay? Number one, allow me to introduce you to the FISMA Act of 2002. Now, this might put some of you to sleep. This is a NIST website. The Federal Information Security Modernization Act of 2002. This is 23 years ago, okay? And what this law says is that any system, application, program, data center, infrastructure, any system that is funded by federal dollars, US federal dollars, money that Congress allocates, is required to comply with FISMA. Now, I made, one of the many careers I've had, I made a whole career about being an expert in FISMA. Okay, FISMA is not like a compliance checkbox, okay? It's not like there's like 5 things you got to do. FISMA gets complicated, but I will boil it down simply. Once you get into needing to comply with FISMA, you have to figure out like what collection of controls matter to you. Then you have to implement them. Then you have to assess them. Then you have to get somebody with authority to sign off and say, this is good, let's go, because you're not going to implement all the controls. Some of them will be tailored out. Some of them will be accepted. Some of them will be remediated down. Some don't apply. Okay? Can I just tell you, I would bet an amount of money that matters to me, okay, that the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, the same SEC that has a .gov website, I'm just confirming right now, yes, the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission, I would bet you $1,000 that they are funded by U.S. federal tax dollars or federal funding, federal budget. So when you come at me with lawmakers want to introduce bills to make sure the SEC does minimum security, my immediate question isn't like, well, what's the new security look like, guys? My immediate question is, where is their authority to operate? Where is the piece of paper that somebody with authority signed off on that said all the controls that they needed to do to comply with this law that's over 2 decades old? Where's that, bruh? It's ridiculous. Like, stop with the friggin' theater. Stop with the hand gestures and the shiny baubles, dude. I'm sorry that FISMA is boring. I'm sorry that NIST 837 is just blocking and tackling. But if you did these things, you'd be fine. I mean, like, give me a call when lawmakers want to exceed the minimum requirements of security controls for federal agencies. Give me a call then. Otherwise, I'll be in my trailer.
CISA gives government agencies 7 days to patch new Fortinet flaw. CISA has stated that U.S. government agencies must secure their systems within a week against this latest vulnerability in Fortinet's FortiWeb web application firewall, which has been exploited in zero-day attacks, allowing authenticated threat actors to execute code as root in low-complexity attacks that do not require user interaction. The CVE numbered vulnerability has been added to the Known Exploited Vulnerabilities catalog, meaning agencies of the Federal Civilian Executive Branch have until Tuesday, November 25th, to secure their systems.
All right, here we go. Okay. Devil's in the details. I've been interviewing a lot of people recently for a project I'm working on that's going to release in January of 2026. I think you guys are going to love it. I've been teasing it, but I don't want to give any details away. CISA is giving government agencies 7 days to patch a Fortinet flaw. So obviously, you got to patch it. If you're running Fortinet, you should take this as guidance, by the way. If you're a private sector business running Fortinet, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't a patch. You should absolutely get in there. Let's take a look at this vulnerability really quick to see how, see how serious it is. Let's go EPS lookup. Dropping it in here. Checking the EPSS score. Oh, it's not this. I mean, almost 3% of a chance, right? So this, I'm not going to poo-poo this, right? 3% chance that in the next 30 days you'll get hit with this. I mean, I don't like those odds. Okay, I mean they're very slow. They're very small, but they're significantly larger than you hitting the lottery in the next 30 days. As far as how bad is it, of all the vulnerabilities in the EPSS database, which is hundreds of thousands, this one ranks as 85th percentile. So it's pretty gnarly if it gets executed. Guys, it's a Fortinet vulnerability that has a known patch. So patch it. All right. That's for you and me as practitioners. Go find out. And by the way, you should know if you have, unless you just started at your job, you should know if you have Fortinet tech in your environment, because Fortinet is constantly on fire. So you probably have a private DM with the network engineers just around Fortinet bullcrap. Now, here's the one thing I want to go beyond the headlines. CISA gives government agencies 7 days. That is not unreasonable, okay? 7 days is enough time to patch a Fortinet device. What I will say is, what happens if they don't, right? CISA gives the government agencies. This is like my son giving me 10 minutes to make a choice on something. You know what I mean? Like, what authority do you have, dude? Like, I'm going to do what I want to do because you're not the boss of me, right? Like, so again, the problem with things like this is you have to empower the agency with authority and then have repercussions if they don't do what they're being told to do, or just say it what it is, you know? No, I'm not going to do this. So I certainly hope personally that agencies patch in the next 7 days. I really, really do. Sadly and cynically, I believe that in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're going to hear a story of some government agency, probably like a fringe one, that suffered a cyber attack because they didn't patch this Fortinet flaw. Mark my words. Mark tape, episode 1011, Jerry hot take on the Fortinet government agency vulnerability. Okay.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, KnowBe4. Your email gateway isn't catching everything, and cybercriminals know it. That's why there's KnowBe4's cloud email security platform. It is not just another filter, it is a dynamic AI-powered layer of defense that detects and stops advanced threats before they reach your user's inbox. Request a demo of KnowBe4's cloud email security at knowbe4.com. That is KNOWBE and the number 4.com. Or visit them this week at the Microsoft Ignite booth number 5532.
All right. Do I do it? Do I? Yes. I just can't help myself. It feels so good. What's up, Davey, Crack IT? Good morning, everyone. Hey, Dr. Garfield and Gibbons, I hope you guys are enjoying your first time here with us. I feel like this is a pretty representative episode between how I feel about these stories, the value I'm trying to deliver, chat popping off as always. Guys, you guys are killing it. Thank you to the stream sponsors. It's you guys support and I get up for you, but I do want to say thank you to the stream sponsors because of their sponsorships, I am able to do this. Otherwise, I would have to, I wouldn't be able to do this because I'd have to be making money some other way. So thank you, Flare. Thank you, Flare, but thank you, Delete Me, Anti-Siphon, Threat Locker, and Barricade Cyber Solutions, guys. Barricade Cyber Solutions, they do many, many things, but they are actually running a webinar series right now every 2 weeks that you should definitely check out called Fortify 365 webinar series. All right, check it out, guys. If you are interested in getting practical knowledge on how to secure Microsoft 365 environments, which are pretty commonplace, come check out this webinar series on November 26th, so the day before Thanksgiving, next Wednesday, which honestly, what are you going to be doing at work on Wednesday? Half the companies left. No one's checking. It's 1 p.m. You can't really leave because you got to be seen at your desk, but you're not working. Emails have crawled to a stop. Jump on this webinar. Learn how to secure SharePoint and OneDrive for the users in your environment. We're talking very practical skills. Setting up alert policies for external file sharing. Wouldn't you like to know that DJ BSEC just shared with Josh Mason's personal Gmail account? Or actually, I think the thing that you would most commonly see is like Nick Ascoli is sharing with Nick Ascoli's personal email, right? This is a common thing when people are about to quit their job. They start firing things off to their personal email. Wouldn't it be nice to detect that? How about when existing or new guest access gets authorized? Wouldn't you like to be able to identify that? Maybe put a time limit on that? All that and more. Go to webinars.barricadecyber.com. Check it out. I say Nick Ascoli because he dropped it in chat yesterday that he tunes into the show on the reg. So what's up, Nick? All right, guys. Every single day of the week. Look at this picture of my kid. Whoops. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is James McQuiggan. Yeah, James. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet's joke of the day. James, can you DM me on Discord so I can get you the link easily? Here we go, guys. Why is a piano so hard to open? Why is a piano so hard to open? Because the keys are on the inside. Oh, my God. All right, guys, what's a rabbit's favorite kind of music? I don't know if you guys know that I am 1/3. I'm 1/3 Irish, 1/3 French Canadian, and 1/3 hare, H-A-R-E. Do you know why? Because me and rabbits have something in common. Our favorite kind of music is hip hop. What's a computer's favorite kind of music? Oh my God. What's a computer's favorite kind of music? Algorithms. Oh, yeah. And finally, bonus question from James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet's dad jokes of the day. What do you call a computer that sings? What do you call a computer that sings? Adele. Oh, hey-o. All right. Thank you, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Guys, I hope you enjoy it. I know there's a bunch of you regulars that drop your own dad jokes in chat, so go ahead, do it right now. It takes a village, y'all. And you know what else takes a village? Dr. Garfield, Gibbons, all you got to do is say la, 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 la. All right? Everybody else knows. Let it wash over you. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let's finish strong, everyone. Solid W.
German authorities warn of evasion attacks on LLMs. Germany's Federal Office for Information Security, BSI, is warning of rising evasion attacks on LLMs and has issued guidance to, quote, help developers and IT managers secure AI systems and mitigate related risks, end quote. Evasion attacks involve malicious inputs such as prompt injection and data manipulation designed to subvert or bypass model safeguards. The BSI released a document aimed at developers and IT managers in companies and public authorities that have opted to operate a pre-trained language model such as OpenAI's GPT. The recommendations are a blend of technical controls such as filters, sandboxing, and retrieval augmented generation, along with organizational practices such as adversarial testing, governance, and training as part of a defense in-depth strategy. The office emphasizes that no single control is sufficient.
All right. Hey, real quick, I do see Gibbons and Dr. Garfield getting in on the laws. I appreciate that, and I love the effort to lean into it. All right, so check this out. This story is not basic, but this story is simple and straightforward. Essentially, this government, Germany, is giving guidance to German businesses on being careful around use of AI, specifically around evasion attacks targeting LLMs. All I'll say here, hold on, can we get an actual link to it? Come on, bro. Here we go. Now, I'll say two things. I'm going to drop a link to this in chat. I have had multiple conversations with people. I had one with Shamiria Gonzalez just Wednesday, okay, around, hey, what do you have around AI governance? A lot of people have been asking me about AI governance and AI policy and, all things AI. There isn't a perfect solution right now, obviously, but putting pieces together, it does help. And to me, if you're responsible for governance at your business, if you're trying to get better informed on how you can help, everybody at your business is using AI, right? So how do you kind of like get your arms around it, help secure it while also enabling innovation at work? This is likely a good piece of the pie. This is not a one-stop shop. This is very specific around evasion attacks on LLMs, but how to countermeasure it, right? So yeah, check it out. Oh, she is definitely Shamiria Gonzalez is wonderful. I'm not tipping my hand at all, but everybody, I hope she attends on Monday's episode next week. You know what I mean? All right, let's keep going.
Critical flaw lets hackers access Asus DSL routers remotely.
Asus.
The Taiwan-based computer and technology manufacturer Asus has now fixed a critical auth bypass flaw with a CVSS score of 9.3 in DSL routers that would have let remote unauthenticated attackers access devices with ease. The vulnerability impacts a handful of router families listed in the show notes. And of course, Asus recommends users update to the latest firmware, as well as using strong, unique passwords.
All right, hold on. First, okay, so a couple things here. One, you gotta patch it. You gotta patch it. So if you're running Asus, guys, basically, here's my thing. Commercial, residential grade and low-end commercial grade network devices notoriously have problems. Fortinet, Asus, TP-Link, QNAP, Zixel, right? I'm not saying that those products suck. I'm just saying they typically show up as the things that are most often on fire. So Asus has got a thing. So number one, you got to patch it. Number two, obviously, if it's end of life, there is no patch, right? So if it's end of life, you've got to replace it, right? We should do this. You got to replace it, okay? But may I just point out something that to the untrained ear, you may have missed, okay? But since I love myself some cybersecurity and I'm an absolute nerd, when I hear something that's not true or stupid, my spidey sense goes off, okay? They say in the story here, for unsupported end-of-life models, which are never going to get a patch, use strong, unique router and Wi-Fi passwords. Okay? Disable internet exposed services. All right. Here's my thing. This particular flaw allows remote So anywhere in the world, unauthenticated attackers, bruh, you could have a 6,000 character password. Unauthenticated means I don't need it. I go by it. It's like these pictures. You ever seen these pictures of like there's a security gate, but then there's like no fence and there's just like a well-beaten path around the security gate? That's what this is. Build a wall, put a catapult, have armed guards with machine guns standing at the gate. Your wireless router is absolutely secured. And then it's like 5 feet to the right, you can just walk past it. So, I mean, sure. Now, having said that, I'm not saying you should not have strong passwords, right? You absolutely should. I'm just saying for this particular vulnerability, for end-of-life devices that are vulnerable to it, a strong password is not going to save you. If anything, it's going to give you a false sense of security. All right. And just for those who are keeping score, it's the DSL router family, the DSL AC51, DSL N16, DSL AC750 router family. So if you got those, that would be the ones that you got to worry about. Yeah, here we go. Here's a live look-in of you putting a strong password on your end-of-life device that's vulnerable to this vulnerability. Ooh. You know what this is too, by the way, just to like further punch a hole in the side of the GRC Mafia, which I'm a card-carrying member. This right here passes a compliance audit. This is a visual representation of why compliance is not equal to security. Okay? Do you have a gate on your main, network path? Yep. Check. We're compliant here. Let's go get tacos.
Palo Alto Networks sees massive surge in malicious activity inside mystery traffic flood. The traffic has been targeting Palo Alto Networks' global protect portals and has surged almost 40-fold in the space of 24 hours, hitting a 90-day high and putting defenders on alert for whatever comes next. This is according to attack intelligence firm Grey Noise, who says the sudden wave began on November 14th, coming from a single network based in Germany and Canada. The company also said in an earlier blog that spikes in attacker activity, quote, often precede new vulnerabilities affecting the same vendor, with 80% of observed cases followed by a CVE disclosure within 6 weeks. End quote.
Excuse me. All right, so there's some compromised assets in Germany that are, what exactly are they doing? Hold on, I'm trying to figure out exactly what they're doing here. Like, significant escalation in malicious activity, but like what? What's the malicious activity? This is like, oh, there's something really bad coming out of Germany. You gotta block it. Like, what is it? This is annoying. Like, listen. They're just scanning. All right. Sure. I mean, okay, so all right, so basically what Grey Noise is saying here is that there is kind of appearing to be threat actor activity scanning, looking for this very specific Global Protect login page everywhere in the internet. Okay. Now, what you can do is, because they're all coming from this, what is it? Is AS autonomous system? I think it, I think it's one of those ones where I always forget the, is it autonomous system? No, it's not autonomous. What the hell is the AS stand for? It is autonomous system. Huh. Autonomous didn't feel right. Anyways, you can block an entire autonomous system number. But that's kind of like, I don't know, killing a mosquito with a cannonball. Like, you can do it, but like, you're going to black out Germany. So You know, I don't know if your business depends on Germany, right? Say you're like a sauerkraut importer, right? You probably don't want to black out Germany. What else we got? BMW, those made in Germany. Let's pretend they are. Like Heineken, right? You can't. This is definitely like a bit of an overcorrection, I would say. Guys, here's the deal. Stick a honeypot out on the internet. It's going to get poked, prodded, and jammed up immediately. So, you know, an uptick in activity of scanning is not to be concerned. All I would say is if you are running Palo Alto Global Protect, obviously there's threat actors out there who are working on some type of exploit or they have an exploit. Increase your level of detections. Maybe put some honeypots or honey tokens around that Global Protect server in case it gets popped and they jam up on it. And you know, keep your ear to the wire on updates and patches from Palo Alto. I will tell you though that like this activity, this isn't some kid in his basement who's like, let's just try to prod around on Palo Alto.
D-Link warns of new RCE flaws in end-of-life DIR 878 routers.
Oh, I do like a good dunkel.
It was a big day for router technology, it seems, yesterday, with D-Link warning of, quote, 3 remotely exploitable command execution vulnerabilities that affect all models and hardware revisions of its DIR 878 router, which has reached end of service but is still available in several markets. These routers are typically used in homes and small offices. Since the DIR 878 reached end of life in 2021, D-Link warns that it will not release security updates for this model and recommends replacing it with an actively supported product. 4 vulnerabilities are involved, listed in the show notes, which, according to CISA, have a medium severity score.
This is Rich Straffolino adding it.
Medium severity score basically means that it'll never rise to the occasion of doing anything. Guys, D-Link, like basically just take the show and rewind about 3 minutes of me talking about this Asus vulnerability. Okay, D-Link, Asus, Fortinet, QNAP, like all these things, guys. Like it I'm not dunking on it. Like basically you pay for what you get. These devices cost less money, but then there's a higher maintenance in basically burden around managing them. And again, I'm not saying Cisco and Palo Alto and Aruba aren't like they're bulletproof, but when you buy higher end gear, you get higher end, you know, quality and performance. So choose your own adventure, dudes, right? So okay, so anyways, if you're running end-of-life D-Link, guess what? The patches aren't coming through, right? Larry Bird's not coming out of that locker room. This is a very, very specific niche reference about that. But anyways, replace your stuff, period. Ask for budget. Like, become best friends with the IT administrator and be like, can I get some budget? We really got to replace these D-Links, right? Or you know, write up a document. Yo, when we get compromised, it's probably because of these D-Links. You picking up what I'm putting down? Ted? Okay. All right, let's go. Definitely don't ever speak to your boss in a sarcastic tone. It does not work. All right, friends. We just did it. We did the thing. Somebody call Nick Barker. It's 9 a.m. We're nailing it. I got about 30 seconds before the top of the hour. Just enough time to say thank you very much for coming here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Dr. Garfield, Gibbons, first timers, you guys gonna come back? I hope you do. Welcome to the party, pal. Don't go anywhere though, because we got a half hour of jawjacking, and then immediately following that, we are going to be doing James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, Simply Secured, another show that we run here. We're going to be talking to Real Bilbo, another community member here at Simply Cyber. Love myself some Real Bilbo. So come hang out, have a good time, start your Friday right. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Let's go get the panel and get to jawjacking. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts... What the hell? Am I live right now? Did the video just end? What the heck just happened there? Hold on. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Jawjacking. I don't know what just happened. Sometimes you get to see behind the curtain and see how the sausage is made. I'm your host, Jerry Guy. As you can tell from the spectacles, or is that what you call them, spectacles? That feels wrong. We're coming hot off the heels of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief hosted by that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Shout out to Joe Hudson. We got a panel today on Friday. Let me bring them on. Ooh, we got a full, look at this cart of, the band Motley Crue, how they got their name. They were originally called Christmas, spoiler alert, but then they walked in and the A&R guy was like, holy mackerel, look at this Motley Crue. And they took it and ran with it and made a ton of music. Let's introduce you to the 2025 Simply Cyber Motley Crue. Ladies and gentlemen, couldn't pick a better one for this particular travel to start. Daniel Lowry, what's up, dude?
What up, Jerry? Good to see you this morning.
You remember Motley Crue, right? Dr. Feelgood?
Man, remember them. They were delicious.
All right. Continuing on the graybeard train. Here we go. DJ B-Sec, what up?
That's not gray.
Oh, you're wearing a gray hat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, at 35,000 feet, bringing the rib ticklers and coming to us probably from an airplane with just a green screen backdrop of his studio, James McQuiggan. We are on mute, James McQuiggan.
Oh, the 737 has his mic turned off.
Yeah. Dong. Please put your belt on.
We didn't do any sound tests beforehand, so you know what.
There you go. What's up, James McQuiggan?
Coming to you live from ground level at home. Road tripping is done for the next couple of weeks. So,
oh my God! Wow.
Yeah. So, and I got the voice to prove it because I'm still, I've been under the weather all week and trying to recover, but doing all right.
Well, I hope you feel better, James, going into Thanksgiving. It's always good. Guys, here's the format for the show if you're new here. If you have any questions, whether it's career-related, certifications, training, AI, training platforms, labs, anything, we've got a really, really great panel. So let me introduce kind of the expertise around the panel so you can get even more informed. Drop your questions in chat with a queue up front. So DJ B-Sec beneath me has, 20 plus years of network engineering and cybersecurity experience and has recently begun floating away from the keyboard and becoming more of an executive, but still got his feet grounded in the, you got like an RJ45 cord tied around your ankle, right? Basically
100-foot one.
100-foot one. Oh, he came to my house and borrowed one. We got Daniel Lowry, who is an amazing trainer. Many of you probably know from his training expertise. And while he can hack hardware like a boss, I would say his expertise lies in offensive security and penetration testing. So Daniel Lowry will be fielding those questions today. And then down in the corner, circle gets the square. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, thought leader, public speaking expert, and works at a company that is known for their awareness training and GRC type work. So James McQuiggan can bring those type of heats too.
And Jerry, I'm a pen tester too.
Yes, he is a pen tester. Let's see. There it is. Boy, look at that double pen testing. He's quite the flex. Quite the flex.
Right out of the database.
That was for you. That was for you, Daniel.
I love it.
I appreciate it.
All right. So, James, I guess let me just kind of a fun question for you until we get going. I know you travel quite a bit. Do you have a Thanksgiving tradition that we're going to be executing on this week?
Yeah, usually we go to my cousin's house here in town, and it's a big family, get together, cousins and aunts and uncles. And I bring my buffalo chicken dip, my ever famous buffalo chicken dip. Love to make it. It's always a hit with the family. And of course, the turkey, the stuffings, the pumpkin pie, the apple pie, all the fixings. So looking forward to getting together with family next week because they haven't seen me since I think September.
Yeah, I don't even think like your dog has seen you since September, dude. You've been living on a plane.
If I had a dog, but yeah, okay. Your dog's seen me more than my own cats.
I know the proverbial seen you. All right, we got some questions coming in. This is great. Let me start firing out at people. Roswell UK wants to know what's the origins of to blow smoke up their butt. Wrong answers only. Hey, Daniel Lowry, I feel like this is a tech neck type thing.
You know, that's exactly where my mind went, because I thought for just a hot second, isn't that time that Billy was trying to fart up old John Boy's 72 Chevelle, but he turned the car on and just blasted right up his bum pipe?
Roswell UK, we got an answer.
You can call.
Cyber Risk, which says, looking back on your careers, what advice would you give your younger selves who are just getting into the field? DJ BSEC, hit us up with some knowledge, dude.
Man, I would pay more attention to what it is that I'm doing. Not just live day to day, but actually have like a goal set. Set a goal and go for it.
All right. That's awesome. James McQuiggan, what do you got to say, buddy?
Don't wait. Get into it now. I waited a number of years before getting into IT and then cybersecurity. Just, go full speed, get networking, get studying, get out there.
Yeah, myself personally, this is not probably the most important advice I would give, but it's one thing that I actually wrestled with. I was always told, like, you have to understand how the business makes money. You have to understand the business. And I was like, why? Like, I'm securing the things. Like, that's what my job is. And it's only, like literally really late in my career when I kind of got more into the executive level stuff, did I actually see why it's so important to understand how the business makes money, because that's how, like, especially in GRC, because that's how you are making decisions on what's important and where do you allocate resources and stuff like that. It just, for me, not being a business guy or an MBA person, being really tech forward, I never understood the need for it, but I absolutely do now. Daniel,
well, it also lets you know what you're actually securing. If you understand the business, you know why you're doing your job.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Daniel, what do you got?
I would have said, like, kind of to the idea of have a plan, because I just kind of fell into this. I was like, what's cool? Computers. I'll see if I can't get a job with that. And then that job rolled into another job. And then you start picking up some skills. And so that job rolls into another job. And then you get some certs. And then and you're just like kind of going with the river, wherever it takes you. But if you kind of sit down, and it took me a while to realize, like, oh, if I start to like build a name and learn people in the industry and make friends with people and start to contribute and be a positive influence, that is and then it's on top of that, skills. By the way, I always say to this question, technically, I would have told myself, learn programming. I don't care what you think about it or how bad you don't jive with it. Learn that, because understanding how that computer works is going to make you just that much better at what you do. So anyway, that's personal. That's a personal, like, do that for me. But other than that, like, have a plan. You can't just kind of go wherever the chips may fall, because you never know where they may fall.
Not in this day and age, though. Like back in our day, you could.
Yeah.
Because I had the same track that Daniel did. I just fell into it. They're like, hey, I've got this job here. Okay, I'll go do it.
Right.
And then one thing led to another, led to another, and I was like, oh, I like doing that, so I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah, it's definitely things have matured as far as an industry and resources, and even the availability of mentorship at scale. Space Tacos wants to see your coffee cup, James, really quick. Can we get a feature, please?
Well, the one that I was using this morning was my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are kind of hurting right now. But behind me, over the shoulder, kind of right about there, there's a Simply Cyber. There's a Simply Cyber sippy cup.
I love it.
Or what we say, SC2. So
you will see. Yeah, you will see the Simply Cyber sippy cup on December 7th and 8th, because I have to go to Austin, Texas. So I'll be live from the hotel room. Hopefully it doesn't look like a pink nightmare that I stayed in Colombia recently. Continuing to do some fun stuff here. DJ BSEC, Amish Brain wants to know what your shirt says, dude.
It says, if at first you don't succeed, try doing what Ben told you to do the first time.
Nice. Very nice.
Really?
I get shirts like this from my wife's mother. She gives those to me all the time.
That's awesome. That's
she
cool.
must, like, as you evolve into your executive role, you're embracing it.
I told her the next shirt I need to get is the one that says, I'm your mother's favorite child. Oof. That way, when I walk into family reunions or family things, my wife's brothers look at that on my shirt.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I love it.
That would be good.
Soap flavored says Jerry. So I'll take this. Is Palo Alto's concern to do with resurgence in the Salesforce breach yesterday? I believe they were affected in August. So I would say no, because the scanning is looking for a specific login page with the Global Protect technology. The Salesforce breach was around customer data. So it would be like leads that Palo Alto had. Like if it was related to Palo Alto, it would be like CRM and potential customers and where they are in the sales cycle for Palo Alto. This is more of a technical scan and looking for attack surface and exploitation. So I suspect that they are completely unrelated.
There's also, with this specific one, it's looking for a specific page in your Palo Alto firewall to log in. So it's usually going to be the SSL VPN and not necessarily Global Protect. They're looking for something specific. You can lock that stuff down so much that, I mean, if they're just scanning, they're just trying to poke holes right now.
Yeah.
Or they have found a CVE that they're trying to find something to be able to get in and use, and it's not actually been put out yet. But there are so many ways to lock that stuff down. Palo Alto, you can attach it to Azure SAML. You can do AWS SAML. There's so many different ways to lock that thing down.
All right. Awesome. Really quick, Amish Brain says, who is Ben? DJ BSEC. His mom and dad did not name him DJ BSEC. we named
what?
him.
What?
Yeah. So really quick, Soulshine wants to know, she's seen James and Daniel and myself quite a bit. Where you been, DJ BSEC? Give us 30 seconds on what's new.
I have been hammering out some stuff for projects, opening new sites, doing a whole bunch of different stuff. Finally, I have today off, all of next week to just chill out.
I love it. Are you hold on, we have to connect, right? Aren't we supposed to be getting drinks in IRL soon?
There's a possibility next month.
Hey, there you go. I mean, I got to cross paths with DJ BSEC in Houston. What was that? Last month?
Yeah, it was at the beginning of November. Yeah,
September, October. I don't know, sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was for all of like 10 minutes. We had a quick chat, a quick selfie, and off we went. Yeah.
I love it. Code Brew wants to know how the CTF went last night. Ask Poner Joe. I was streaming with Nick Ascoli, but we did have 3 winners. And if you guys didn't know, we do a monthly CTF in the community. We were doing it for a year, so we will have one in December. I have to evaluate whether or not we're going to continue to do it in 2026 based on multiple factors. But yeah, go check it out. I think it went well, though, Code Brew. What's your viewpoint on Flock security cameras and their constant recording and lack of security? So I did see a story pass by my feed around Flock security, and I think they were able to compromise in like 30 seconds or something like that. I don't know if anyone else on the panel read that story. I'm not really well informed on Flock security cameras.
So I can give a little bit on this. I haven't read for Flock security, but Flock security cameras are basically, think about what you see in the UK or over in London and Britain, where they have cameras all over the place. That's what Flock is. It's basically like the massive network of cameras that's used by your municipalities, your local PD, and so forth, that do license plate reading. So, for instance, they actually put them in my neighborhood. We had a lot of break-ins where people were coming in and stealing tires and stealing wheels. And now with those cameras in place, now they'll know if somebody comes in your neighborhood or goes out of your neighborhood, and they have they've got the license plate. But it's not just the bad guy's license plate. They have everybody's license plate. So they can follow. In fact, I did see something a couple of months ago where there was an individual that broke into something or got in trouble in one area of a municipality and then ended up being on the other side of town. And the license plate reader, the Flock camera, hit that license plate, and they were able to catch that guy like that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good, but with all good comes bad, right?
Right, exactly. Like mass surveillance is great because crime doesn't happen. But if you look at 1984, there was not a lot of George Orwell's 1984. There was not a lot of crime happening, but there was also not a lot of anything happening. That wasn't
not a lot of real crime, right? There was thought crime.
yeah, exactly. So it is a balance that we have to deal with, civil liberties and stuff like that. A couple questions coming in. These are great. And I'm also going to step back and grab a book back here. So let me throw this one to Daniel Lowry. And then if the panel wants to comment on it after, we can do this. Daniel, Bob, art thou Love that name. Do you guys think a degree is more important or certifications in the cybersecurity field? Daniel, you're talking to your kid. They're about to turn 18 and go off into the world. And they say, Dad, degree or cert? Go.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's going to be both and, right? That's just the answer to that. The quick TLDR on that is both and. It is not one or the other. And there was a time when you'd have caught old D-Lau here telling you, man, forget that degree business. It's all about them sweet certifications. And if there was a hot minute there where that was the truth. That was really the way to go. The degree programs were cranking out people that knew some basics. And unless you had like a full CS degree where you were like a developer or some sort of data scientist or just researcher, you didn't really, maybe electrical engineer, that kind of thing. You didn't really have a great a grasp on cybersecurity, definitely, and just a bit on IT. And you had to go out and get those certifications to really kind of ramp up on day-to-day systems and network administration. And if you wanted to get into cybersecurity, it was you learned the basics in a college program, and that was crazy. Today is a different story, right? The university levels have realized that they had a bad gap when it came to the skill level that they were cranking out. You know, to James just shaking his head because he's like, WGU, baby, right? They saw, hey, there's a good market for this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Full Sail University, all these, I went to ITT Tech and they were the first they started a degree program in that in cybersecurity. I was one of the first people in that degree program. I did not finish it. I ended my school career at that point because I was disenfranchised with the whole idea of that kind of thing. But nowadays, different story, man. There's some great degree programs out there. And if you look at job posts, they love a good degree at this point, even if it's just a good bachelor's in computer science or networking or even networking or cybersecurity. There's great ones out there. So
yeah, I mean, from a professor standpoint, teaching cyber threat intelligence right now, trying to get the students to do more real world assignments, activities as assignments, writing the reports. I mean, cyber threat intelligence, like pen testing, it's a lot of fun to do, but you've got to be able to communicate it. And so working on those professional skills, not soft skills, professional skills of communication, presenting, gathering up that information and being able to communicate it out is what we're trying to strive to do more. So yeah, the degrees are there, as I've always felt that's there to show that you can focus on something for 4 years and, accomplish a degree through study, analysis, and so forth. The certs give you that hands-on practical showing that you can, yes, I can do this. So it is as Daniel was saying, certs and your degrees. And a lot of the schools, they'll allow you to get your certs while you're taking the classes. So that's kind of a win-win in a lot of scenarios as well. So go for both. And then the experience.
Yeah, the certs are the industry saying, yes, you have it.
All right. Adrian says, I've been in telecommunications for over 20 years, mostly in PM and circuit provisioning. What's the best way to pivot in terms of courses or frameworks in addition to NIST? And I love that you add in addition to NIST, like, because obviously a NIST is like a prereq. James, mentor, what do you say, buddy?
20 years in PM and circuit provisioning. Wow, that's certainly very specific. But the PM is the key aspect of it, because when you get into cybersecurity, if we didn't have project management, we'd be going all over the place, plugging in all kinds of devices and blinky boxes and everything else, working with IT to do that. But certainly the project management aspect is crucial because of planning that's needed in a lot of these cybersecurity projects, whether it's identity access management, whether it's new EDRs, whatever it may be, that's key. So yeah, your courses and frameworks, well, certainly shameless plug, Anti-Siphon's got a whole lot. Jerry's in the Simply Cyber Academy, tons to go check out. Frameworks, NIST is kind of the standard here that we like to utilize here in the US. ISO is another good one, especially on the 27000 series I've seen, because that focusing on trying to get that compliance involves a lot of project management, being able to take it, scope it, implement it. As a very dear friend of mine always said, you got to plan the work and then you got to work the plan. So that would be my take.
There you go. I love it. So we just had this question a moment ago around cert versus degree. Daniel answered it. DJ BSEC followed up. So what if you can't get the degree what cert is best?
Depends on what you want to do, right? You can't. What kind of doctor do you want to be? That's same thing with cyber, right? So if you're, I mean, I'll speak from the red team side of things. I mean, like it or lump it, OSCP is still the favored son when it comes to HR. So if you want to really be able to go, hey, I'm probably going to get an interview, you go for the OSCP. Other certifications out there are just as good quality wise, if not better in some people's estimations, right? That's going to be a judgment call on you. To me, I always try to let people know it's all about what jobs are you going for and what do they value. If they don't value the OSCP, then it doesn't matter. Go get something else. Look at the jobs that you're looking at and what is a constant thread between those different jobs. What do you see as certs that they value? And that would be something I would start looking at very heavily.
I love it. We got a great question coming in here for the panel, and you guys will understand why I say that. When did you start feeling confident in cyber? It feels like the gap between what I know and what I've yet to learn is ever widening. DJ BSEC, you go first. We're going to have a therapy session here.
I'm not competent at all.
DJ incompetent.
I mean, I'm sure everybody on here feels the same way. We know what we know because we do what we do, but we don't know everything. And that's the key to it, is you have to understand you're not ever going to know everything. It's learning on a day-to-day basis. I may know something Daniel doesn't know or James doesn't know, but they may know a lot more than what I don't know over here. That's why that's why one of the biggest things we talk about on here, and anytime I'm talking with somebody, is it's always about networking. Get people that know stuff that you don't know, so you're able to reach out to them and talk to them and find out, because something may come up that you have no clue. But guess what? I have 40 people behind me that I know are competent in cybersecurity, and they probably do know what I don't know, and I can ask them.
It's interesting, when did I start feeling confident in cyber? There's been different stages. And like what DJ BSEC was saying, we don't know everything. So we've got to know little chunks at a time, little bits. And I think for me, there was a certain level of competency when I passed my CISSP way, 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 way back in the days. And since that time, it's been learning more and more about cyber. And we're always learning about cyber. But there's that competency when, for me, it's when people come up to me and ask, what do you think about X? And I give a response, and they're like, oh, okay, all right. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess that wasn't so bad. But I think the next step for me came when I started teaching, because then it's like, okay, now people are looking to me for the answers. I better know what I'm talking about or feel confident in what I'm talking about. But at the same time, if I don't know the answer, I got to know where I can go look for it. And that, for me, has always been the case since I was working in a help desk back in the last century. I may not know the answer, but I'm going to go find where you can get that answer. But presenting is also another big step as well, because you've got to be able to articulate and communicate and share the vision, the message, whatever it is. So it's been baby steps. Do I always feel confident? No. Imposter syndrome is very real in this industry, because when I got to present to a room full of hackers on agentic AI, and I'm like, how many of these people are going to run circles around me? You get up and you share what you know and your information, and you make sure that you validated and verified, and you're comfortable in your response, and you'll have that competency.
So kind of a follow-up question on this one, and I'll throw it to Daniel since he didn't comment on that one. Overlook says, if anyone can speak towards the importance of confidence and self-esteem for career growth, feels like degrees and certs go only as far as confidence will take them. What do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, no, that's really good. By the way, I scheduled my confidence on like September 13th of 2047. That's when I will feel confident. I put it on the calendar. Yep, I got it on the calendar. It's ready to rock. But no, you're absolutely right about this, that you can have all the skills in the world. You can literally be a genius level, but if you do not have the ability to utilize those skills in a way that someone can understand, and this is the problem that we have when it comes to talking to the business leaders of whatever organization that you work for or are your clients or whatever the case is translating that technical knowledge into something that they get. If you can do that, there's no end of work that will come your way, because that's what this is the missing key. And I'll take it to training, because training is my bread and butter, right? Is like, I can't tell you how many really great training classes I've seen as far as like the content, but the delivery is just garbage. It's not engaging. It's not fun. I have to watch it over again. I have to reread that sentence 9 times to go, what are they saying? Because technical level genius, man, crazy level of skills. And then you're going, I don't understand this. And what good is it if you have that knowledge, if you can't get it into the heads and understanding of the people that need it? So that's my take on that.
I love it. Really quick, I do want to throw this. I wanted to wait until we got a little bit further into jawjacking. If there's anyone in chat, okay, this is a very specific ask. If there's anyone in chat that is studying to become a pen tester, but they haven't actually done pen testing professionally before, but they have like Security Plus or Pen Test Plus, or they definitely have to have at least one cert. And you would like, I'm doing like a little video series, and I need that particular type of person who would like to be filmed and be part of a Simply Cyber video. So I'm looking for a pen testing person. Just let me know in chat really quickly. Thank you. And I wanted to, make sure it's a Simply Cyber community member. Let's see here. We had another question of, here we go. DJ BSEC. Chris says, I have a degree in cyber, but I feel I'm lacking the knowledge on the technical side. Did I just ask this one? No. Is this the one I just asked you, Daniel? No, right?
No, it's not the same, but it follows the same concept. I mean, like we always say, just because you go and get a degree, just because you go and get a certification, doesn't necessarily mean you've ever put hands on keyboard and done it. And that falls back on the confidence. Like, hey, I'm confident enough I can read a book and understand what the book is, and I can take a test on it. That doesn't mean I know the ins and outs of what the author was thinking when they wrote the book. And that's where you got to go. You now that you have passed the certification or you've done it, you need to do labs. You need to get some hands-on experience so you actually have that confidence and understand. Because if you go get hired to do a specific job of like pen testing and you've never done it before, and they come to you and say, hey, here's your first pen test job, and then you're sitting over in the corner going, oh crap, what do I do? So there's got to be, along with the knowledge, you actually have to have hands-on keyboard and facilitate what's being asked.
Or they sit there and go, y'all don't have Chat GPT in here?
Yeah. Can I just hook Claude up to this and scan?
Yeah.
let me grab my phone really quick and pop that into my AI app here. Let's see. I
would say that we are becoming more. People are saying we're becoming dumber because we're relying on those things, and we need to.
They did a study on the creativity of the human mind and how it has been diminished due to leaning too heavily on AI.
Yeah,
that's so interesting. I feel like I'm more creative because of AI. I'm able to kind of like workshop ideas really, really fast. But
depends how you use it. I think how you use the tool depends on what output you get from it.
It's like if you're taking a test and every question, or if you're a brand new person in a job and everything that you do, you're asking a question to the person next to you of how to do something and having them explain it every single time, you're not learning anything. Right. It's just copy and paste.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, really quickly on Jawjacking on Wednesday, Cyber Risk Witch asked, she's wanting to get better at consulting. She asked if there was any books. I did ask my friends who are partners at Deloitte, which is a big consulting firm, what they thought. And he actually recommended a book series that I actually own. I didn't think about it, but there's the Stargazer series. So this is Business Model Generation or Strategizer series, Cyber Risk Witch right there. There's another one, Value Proposition Design, and there's one about testing business ideas. These books are incredibly practical and incredibly effective at helping you understand business and business processes. And it's very it's cool looking, right? It's like, it's not boring, dry NIST stuff. So check out those Strategizer series and giddy up on that. So Daniel, and we got 1 minute before James McQuiggan. So Daniel, speed run this question. This guy, 30 years in the military, or lady, they want to get into red teaming. OSCP, Hack the Box Academy. Is that a good way to get into red teaming? 30 seconds.
I'd hack the box it, honestly, and then 0 Point Security's CRTO. program. That's probably where I'd do a double whammy right there. Relatively inexpensive, great way to get your feet wet, especially when you're talking red teaming specifically. OSCP is more for like pen testing.
All right, there you go. Perfect. Really quick, Cyber Research says, do you have any tips, tricks for starting a YouTube channel or creating content in general? Yes, absolutely. I actually have an entire course on it that I'm doing in January. Ask me about that at the next Jawjacking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Interview with the real Bilbo, great community member. I pinned it in chat, so we're going to go ahead and raid that in just a second. But for the panel, I want to say thank you, Daniel Lowry. Thank you, DJ BSEC. Thank you, James McQuiggan. I hope you guys got incredible value from the Jawjacking stream today. I hope you get value from James McQuiggan's interview with Real Bilbo. Thank you to all of you. And on behalf of James, Daniel, and DJ BSEC, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys on Monday. Well, have a happy weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday, and we'll talk about it then. Till next time, stay secure.